hung up on something on this quiz that maybe you could go back and review it. And so when Monday comes rolling around, Monday, right after break, I will give you about 20 minutes during the period. Here you go. Try it. Finish up. And if you still need more time, then, figure it out. But the real hard thing with me is I get a lot of people that will bring something to me saying, I don't get any of this. And I find that hard to believe because you haven't really been absent, and it's a little frustrating when videos are available for you to watch. I'm available very often for help, and I don't see you often. I'm available, in the my math office during first period. Okay, first period off. Well, the past 2 weeks, I haven't had any off-campus meetings I had to go to except for this past Friday. That was it. And my office over there, yeah, I'm doing work for that, but you were welcome to come over. So I want to make sure that we're pretty good about this. So I will tell you throughout the quiz, when you're like, oh, I don't remember the equation, if you go through and you look at different portions, like the first part says, write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Okay? But like on the third page, when it'll say, hey, graph this, use the slope-intercept form, and you're like, well, I don't know what slope-intercept form is. Go back to the first page and read the directions because it says put it in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And then the second set of questions says, write an equation in point-slope form, and they give you y minus y1 equals m times quantity x minus x1 for that. So if you're on the fourth page, it says, hey, graph this in point-slope form. You're like, I don't know what point-slope form is. Well, go back to the first page because we gave it to you on a different page. So sometimes it's okay to flip back and forth on a quiz to see, oh, I remember that was presented. Of course, the hard thing is when there's directions, most guys don't read the directions, and that's kind of a normal behavior, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. All of these are pretty easy, in my opinion, graphs. Now, when I say they're easy, you're not graphing a weird decimal amount. You're not having a slope of a weird amount. So let me just go through a couple. So if you had, say, this, y equals 1/3 x minus 6, how would I approach this problem to graph it? Yeah, what is my y-intercept? -6. So that's my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is the point 0, -6. So that's the first thing. Then what do we do to get to the second point? Yeah, so from our point that we just drew, we're going to go up 1, and then I'm going to go over 3. Put a second dot. So there's like 3 of those kind of problems on the test. I think you should do those. I think. But I might be wrong. Okay? Now, so this is slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So if I told you you have a slope of 6 and a y-intercept of 0, 8, what equation does that turn back into if I plug it back in above? Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Yep. So I'm going to plug this into there. What goes in for B?
0.
No.
8.
The 8. So you just go y equals 6x plus 8, and we're done. Okay? Now, they might say, if you have m equals 3 and b equals 7, and I want to plug it back into the equation, is that one given to you for the most part? Yeah. Yeah. What do you plug in? I plug in the m, it's given. What else you plug in? I plug in the b, it's given. Okay? You might be given a problem like this. And they want you to graph it. Now this is the tougher one. So this is in point-slope form. This is point slope form. Okay? Which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this one is weird because remember, it's opposite value of the point. So what is my point that I establish with that given equation? Remember, I want x1, y1. So this is opposite sign. So what point is it? Someone's mumbling, but I can't hear. Too many concerts. What's my x component? It's -1, right? It's always opposite. So this is going to yield me the point -1. What's my y component? 3. What's the point going to be that I'm going to plot? -1, 3. So -1, 3. See how I established that point? Now, how do I get a second point? What do I have to use to get there? Use slope. So what am I going to do from that point? I'm going to go up 2 and 2.5. I think that might be the toughest problem on the test. I think there's one of those. Now, we will want you to, if I gave you -8, 14, slope 7/3, how do I plug this into point slope equation? So I'm going to get y minus equals x minus. So I'm going to plug in right here, plug in right here, and plug in right here. And I might have to change the sign. So what is my y component that is up there as far as the point goes? 14. So do I plug just 14 in there, or does this become plus 14? Careful before you answer. Just 14, right? Because remember, as I go from here to here, I lose my sign. It's opposite sign. So what do I do here? What's the x value? It's going to be a +8. So I have to change that to a +8. And my slope is 7/3. And that problem would be all done. Okay, so there's, when you look at this, it looks like a long quiz, but the thing is I gave you a whole bunch of graphs to graph. Okay? So I went over slope intercept, I went over point slope. Let's do this. God bless you. I have some bass. How do I do this? What's the fun method that's not math related? Covered. All right, so covering this, I get 3x is equal to 18. So what is 3x equal to? 6. So x, this is x, equals 6. Put it down. How do I solve the other one? What do I have to do? Cover the 3x. 3x, sorry, -2y equals 18. -9. So that was 6, 0. That was 0, -9. Connect the dots to each other. That was pretty simple. Cover method. And then x equals 6, y equals -2. X equals 6 is a straight line. Is it up, down, or right or left? This is the x-axis. Do you agree? So x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up or down, or right or left? This is the y-axis. So what does this one look like? -2. Horizontal or vertical? Okay. I'm going to go over this fourth page a little bit with you once I get it out to you, because you have to see it. Because I think it, when I first looked at it, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh. And then the last thing we're going to do is, so let's say we have some data. Let's say we had let's do this. I know we've done it before. Height and shoe size. Okay? And let's actually put a couple pieces of data. So let's say this is height in inches and shoe size in inches. So let's say you have a height of 60 inches, shoe size of 8. Height of 63 inches, shoe size of 9. Shoe size of 72 inches, size 12. Shoe size of 54 inches, 7.5.
45 inches is like this tall.
60 inches is 5 foot. They're SM all. That's small with a SM all. They could be. I mean, there's kids that come over from the middle school. They come over here.
There's some like really tiny like seniors and stuff too. They're like tiny.
Gravity where they grew up was much stronger, so all right, so let's walk through this. What goes on the x-axis? What should I label it? Height, good. What goes on the y-axis? How should I height? Shoe size. So it's labeled. Okay. We need to count. So I think in the height direction, perhaps I can count by, oh, I don't know, tens. And then in the shoe size direction, probably by ones. Could I count this in twos or tens or whatever? Sure. I should have counted by twos. Bug snot. Shaquille O'Neal, we don't have a shoe size. All right, so 60, 8. Let's just pretend I can draw really well. 63, 9. 72, 12. 54, 7.5. So it appears that it is kind of a straight line. I got kind of lucky. So that should be our line of best fit. So that's happening down below. So I need to find my line of best fit. So I need to pick two pieces of data that are pretty close. So I might pick this one, and I might pick this one. No. Yes. That works. All right, so that one is, I don't want to pick that one. I'm not picking that one because there's a decimal. I'm being lazy. I'm going to pick that one. All right, so the third one. So 60, 8 and 63, 9. Okay, x1, y1, x2, y2. Find the slope. Slope equation is this. Gotta know it. Okay, plug it in. 9 minus 8, 63 minus 60, 1 over 3. The slope of 1/3. What should I do from there? Plug it into point slope. Can't remember what point slope is. Look back to the first page, and it probably has it in the directions. Okay, got this labeled x1, y1. So I got y minus 8 equals 1/3 x minus 60. Okay, so y minus 8, distribute this, 1/3 x, 1/3 of 60 is 20. Add 8 to both sides. So, the slope is the change in the y direction over the change in x direction. So the change in the y over the change in the x. So our slope is 1/3. So for every shoe size bigger, you are 3 inches taller. Does that make sense? Say it one more time. It's the change in the y direction, which is the shoe size, over the change in the x direction, which is the height. So the shoe size is, I have 1 shoe size over 3 inches in height. Okay? Anyone want to take a shot at what the y-intercept would mean in the context of this problem? It's kind of silliness, but what would it mean? If I am 0 in height in inches, still with me? I have a shoe size that's -12. Doesn't make sense. So does it make sense in the context of this problem? Not really. There's other ways we can do this problem, like, or the problem that you'll have that it'll actually come out to the context. Okay? So I feel pretty good about this. This gives us a good half hour to start on this. But again, once I hand this out, I want to go ahead and flip over to the 4th page so we can take a look at it.